Central and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Going to be a soggy day tomorrow with scattered showers and maybe even a rumble of thunder, but temperatures are going up by the weekend. Those details coming up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, Marquette officials are working on what to do with the Jacobetti Home for Veterans, with one idea being to turn it into a jail. Plus, AARP's new grant program could bring big changes to Michigan neighborhoods, $10,000 worth of improvements. We'll have the details. And President Trump has rejected Iran's latest peace proposal. We'll have the latest. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. A first look at your forecast as we're trying to plan this week ahead, with temperatures going a little all over the place, and we'll get a few different rounds of rain, but at least for tomorrow, sticking with one day at a time, temperatures will range from the mid to upper 40s, and then we'll get some warmth closer to 60 degrees down and towards the Ironwood and Iron River area. But it is going to be a rainy day for us. Make sure to have that rain gear handy, but make sure to stay tuned. I'll let you know when we'll have some dry periods and when we can expect a little bit of a warm up in just a few.
Kelly, thank you very much. The future of the Jacobetti Veterans Home property in Marquette remains up in the air, but city officials say they want a stronger voice in whatever comes next. Our John Truitt was at tonight's Marquette City Commission work session and has the latest.
The current Jacobetti Home for Veterans occupies more than 7 acres of state-owned property on Fisher Street in Marquette. Once the new Veterans Home opens in 2028, the existing facility is expected to close, creating a major redevelopment opportunity in the heart of the city.
This is a significant piece of property that an opportunity like this within the city for developable land for housing will not come across our desk again for a number of years, at least not in the near future.
During Monday night's work session, the Marquette City Commission talked about how involved the city should be in future planning for the site. Several commissioners expressed interest in exploring housing development, calling the property a rare chance to add much-needed taxable housing within city limits.
The City Commission feels that they need to be involved in the process somehow, and identifying what those next steps or what that next use is still need to be worked out.
A separate proposal being considered by Marquette County would place a new county jail on the property.
The county has been talking about needing a new jail, an expanded jail, and our community is spending, some of that money on, the need that they have.
Because the land is currently owned by the state, it does not generate property tax revenue for the city. Officials say a housing project could change that, while a jail development would likely keep the property tax exempt.
Tonight was just a discussion to see if the city wanted to remain in the conversation, and if the city wanted to see if there's any interest.
Commissioners took no action at tonight's meeting. However, city staff will continue discussions with state and county officials before any proposals are made. A longstanding figure in Marquette city politics will be on the ballot for county commission later this year. Jenna Smith held positions in the city's housing commission from 2015 through 2017 before sitting on the city commission for 2 terms, serving as mayor from 2019 until 2022, leaving office in 2024. Following the resignation of late Commissioner Steve Adamini, his seat has been temporarily filled until a new commissioner is voted on in the fall. Smith says the role would be a large step up from a city perspective, but that her years of work for the area would help guide the transition.
County commission is a different level. It's similar in some ways and different in others. So I think I bring quite a bit of experience, but also I know there's a lot to learn, and I'm ready and capable to do that learning.
Smith will be on the special election primary ballot for District 3 on August 4th. The AARP is looking to expand the wellness of aging communities throughout the state with an upcoming grant initiative. The Michigan Age-Friendly Communities Grant Program will select 5 organizations to be awarded $10,000 in funding later this year for projects in outdoor access and comfortable livability for residents 50 or older. The grant program is similar to the AARP's network of age-friendly communities, where currently Escanaba is the only one in the UP.
What this is meant to do is kind of be a holistic approach to, improve the lives of not just older adults, but people of all ages, and say, how can we make communities work for the people, rather than the other way around.
Applications for eligible nonprofits will open May 15th. We'll have more information on our website, WZMQ19.com. The UP State Fair Authority is making significant improvements to its facilities thanks to new grant funding. The Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has awarded the fair a $100,000 capital improvement grant. The Fair Authority will use it to repair the roof of the beef barn, which is the ground's oldest structure. The much-needed work will ensure the barn's functionality and safety well into the future.
People will see activity in the beef barn at least once during Fair Week, but the reality is that it is something, a building that's used year-round. So making sure that that structure is maintained for the long term is very, very important.
The fair also received $3,000 to cover exhibitor premiums at this year's fair, which is set for August 17th through the 23rd. President Trump held an event about maternal health at the White House today to highlight what the administration is doing to support motherhood. The president announced that the Department of Labor is issuing a new rule to formally create a fertility benefit option that employers can offer workers, similar to vision and dental plans.
This will hopefully reduce the number of couples who ultimately need to resort to IVF, because challenges can be identified and addressed very early in the process.
The president also touted a new government website called moms.gov, designed to offer support and information to new and expecting mothers. The U.S. has the highest maternal mortality rate among high-income countries, with 17.9 deaths per 100,000 live births in 2024. President Trump has rejected Iran's counterproposal to end the war, saying today the ceasefire is not just fragile, but on life support, and that he is facing no pressure, as he put it, to secure a deal or end the war. But there is news from the president on gas prices. Nancy Cortez spoke with him today about his new plan at the White House.
With Americans now spending 50% more for gas than they did before the war, President Trump told CBS News today he is ready to tap the brakes on the federal gas tax. I think it's a great idea, Trump told me in a phone interview. We're going to take off the gas tax for a period of time, and when gas goes down, we'll let it phase back in. Within minutes, Republicans in the House and Senate announced plans to introduce legislation to suspend the gas tax. Democrats noted they did that months ago. The move would bring the current average cost of gas down from $4.52 a gallon to $4.34.
It's a small percentage, but it's still money.
The 18-cent per gallon tax brings in more than $2 billion a month, funding that goes towards highway construction and repairs. But in a new poll, 63% of Americans say their household's personal financial situation has taken a hit from high gas prices.
For the working class, it's not sustainable.
Food's not optional, right? So driving sort of is.
In our phone interview, Trump said the latest Iranian peace proposal was just a bad proposal done by people that have no clue as to the danger they're in.
After reading that piece of garbage they sent us, I didn't even finish reading it.
The Iranians insisted their proposal was generous and reasonable. Trump warned that the already shaky ceasefire is now in jeopardy.
Right now, it's on life support.
I asked President Trump if he is open to a bailout for U.S. air carriers now that the cost of jet fuel has more than doubled. He said he hasn't seen a bailout proposal and doesn't think that the airlines are doing badly right now.
Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, Americans who were aboard the cruise ship where hantavirus was found returned to the country. And May is recognized as ALS Awareness Month. We'll hear the story of one family who is living with the disease. We're back in just a couple minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Summer's here. You can celebrate anything, like buying your first car. Yes! Cute. Finishing a big project. Or even your dog's birthday. He's eating the cup. Is that okay? It's his daily fiber.
Now get $3,000 customer cash on a new 26 Tundra, or 2.99 financing plus 1,000 APR cash, or lease this Tundra for $439 a month.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Doughboys, Comets, Gremlins. Every public school in Michigan is proud to be known for something. The Michigan Lottery is proud to be known for something too. Education. 100% of lottery profits go to support Michigan public schools. With your help, the lottery provided over $1 billion to the state school aid fund for the 7th straight year. So whatever hometown school you're from, the Michigan Lottery is rooting for all of them. Michigan Lottery, for fun, for schools.
Get up to 60% off list prices
on hundreds of items at the huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Incredible deals like this Ashley sectional with a free ottoman, just $9.92. Relax and recline in a lazy boy for just $3.99. This new Ashley sofa, just $2.99. And get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $3.99. Pay no interest for up to 72 months on select purchases with approved credit.
The huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture. Do not miss this one.
Planning a getaway? Fly local and explore more with Marquette Sawyer Regional Airport. Enjoy convenient flights on American, Delta, and United. Skip the long drive and book your next trip today at sawyerairport.com.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. Only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
Now, from the 19 News Forecast Center, this is WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And welcome back. We were only able to reach 45 degrees for that high, and we've already reached that new milestone. The average high should now be 60 for this time of the year. It wasn't too long ago when it hit 50, so we are slowly but surely trying to warm things up, at least statistically and climatologically. But we know in the Upper Peninsula at this time of the year, Mother Nature does not always like to follow those climatological norms, so we can still see those cold snaps and those overnight temperatures getting around teetering that freezing mark. So we're not going to deal with widespread frost for tomorrow morning. We just have a better chance of that the closer out we get to the Newberry, Sault Ste. Marie area, especially the eastern half and into the lower peninsula of Michigan. We don't have any official frost advisories or freeze warnings for tonight. Nothing that we necessarily have to worry about, but just be mindful that it is going to be a bit cold for tonight. We get a little bit of some sunshine maybe before the sun can rise, but we are expecting a rainy day in general for tomorrow. You need to have the rain gear handy, especially for that morning commute, and then some scattered showers intermittently throughout the day. And you can really just kind of see that classic low pressure system counterclockwise movement over top of the Upper Peninsula. So that's going to be the system that gives us the rounds of rain for tomorrow, lingering into Wednesday. And then behind that, maybe some colder air. You might start to see some blue and purple mixing in there. So that just shows us that there's colder air within it. We may have a few wet snowflakes flying around for the late Tuesday into Wednesday time frame, but it really is just the rain, and it spikes up pretty quickly from that low chance to basically just in time for the morning commute, where we're going to see some probable rain showers, not widespread. Remember, it's kind of a line of showers and isolated thunderstorms for that morning time, and then they become more scattered throughout the day. A rainy day for tomorrow, not going to be a rainy day for Wednesday, but that moisture and the showers do hang around for the start of your Wednesday. Just from this rain though, for Tuesday, Tuesday, we very well could see some rain totals around that 1/4 inch range, and then we tack on that potential rain hanging into Wednesday morning. Still looking at less than an inch, not necessarily too concerned about severe flood parameters, but we've seen some flood advisories for local rivers, creeks, and streams. So in those low-lying, poor drainage areas, flood-prone areas, we might see some issues just from the rain on and off for tomorrow. The winds for tomorrow start from the south, and then when that system itself moves through, the winds change from that northerly direction. But then once we pass this system for Tuesday and Wednesday, we are going to see a bit of a warm-up, so those northern winds will then shift again, and we're going to see the jet stream bring up some warm air from the south. So the temperatures do go all over the place, but we are going to gradually increase and warm things up and clear things out. Once we get to Thursday, we'll get back to the 60s, more seasonal for Friday, and a nice seasonal weekend ahead too. Maybe a bit cooler, but at least we keep things dry and we keep some of that warmth headed into next week.
Kelly, thank you again. 18 U.S. citizens exposed to the hantavirus on a cruise ship are now back in American soil, and one who has tested positive is in a biocontainment unit in Nebraska. 2 other people were transferred to Atlanta. Jesse Mitchell reports from New York.
Aerial cameras captured a couple from the MV Hondius cruise ship arriving in Atlanta in full protective gear before they were taken to Emory Hospital.
One individual was deemed to be symptomatic on evaluation prior to leaving the Canary Islands. One is undergoing treatment, and the other one is undergoing further evaluation and monitoring.
Health officials say more than a dozen other U.S. citizens from the hantavirus-affected cruise ship were admitted to the University of Nebraska quarantine unit Monday.
We've been doing symptom monitoring as well as temperature checks. Everyone here is asymptomatic.
At least one who tested positive for the Andes strain of the virus remains in biocontainment for close observation.
We assessed that individual. They are doing well, actually. They currently do not have any symptoms.
The rare Andes variant of the hantavirus linked to the cruise ship outbreak has the potential to spread between people. CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel spoke with Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, director of the National Institutes of Health and acting director of the CDC, about the government's response so far.
Why haven't we seen daily briefings on the hantavirus the way we did around COVID?
You know, the epidemiological risk is very, very different. It is a more deadly disease if you get it. But unlike COVID, it's the way that people get it from person to person is much, much more difficult for that to happen.
Hantavirus symptoms can include fever, chills, and muscle aches, which can take up to 2 months to present themselves.
The World Health Organization says the outbreak on board the ship killed 3 people and infected 6 others. The MV Hondius is now heading back to the Netherlands for disinfection. The journey is expected to take 6 days. May is ALS Awareness Month. The Ice Bucket Challenge went viral, but there's still no cure for the disease, also known as Lou Gehrig's. Gwen Baumgartner spoke with one California family using their experience with ALS to support and inspire others.
Through each life chapter, Eric Stevens has defined strength. A decorated fullback at UC Berkeley, signed by the Rams, an LA firefighter. Now, alongside wife Amanda, resiliently raising awareness of ALS, something he has, a terminal disease that gradually takes away speech and muscle function.
Patients describe it as like you're stuck in a glass coffin because your mind is completely there. Like your mind is not affected at all. It's just your entire body stops.
About 5,000 people are diagnosed in the U.S. each year. Most ALS patients are given life expectancy of 2 to 5 years after symptoms develop. Eric has already defied the odds, diagnosed nearly 7 years ago, just a month after their wedding.
I see this beautiful family that you have. Like our mindset was, you know, like why are we going to let this like stop us from living the life that we had always like pictured together?
The Stevens family is also working to support other first responders facing this fate. Their foundation, ACTS ALS, provides grants for experimental treatments and for patients who don't qualify for traditional clinical trials.
It gives them a, hope. It gives them something to fight for, and so we were so grateful to be able to do that.
Eric says despite everything, he's still building the life he once dreamed of.
He said his goal since he was 18 was to start a family and live in a beautiful home. yeah, we're pretty lucky.
A beautiful perspective amid a cruel disease.
According to the ALS Association, men are about 20% more likely to develop ALS than women. About 1 in 400 people will develop ALS in their lifetime. Still to come on your 19 News, we'll have a look at what travel costs are looking like for Memorial Day weekend. That and more when we come back.
As a parent, your child's safety is your top priority, especially if your child has autism. Did you know that 50% of children with autism elope, often leading to drownings and other tragic situations? Consider using a home security system designed to ensure your family's safety. If any door is tampered with, the alarm will wake you immediately. Call 800-761-3911. A home security system backed by Give Me a Voice, a nonprofit organization.
When you need a body shop, skip the corporate shops and outside investors. Go with your hometown body shop, Superior Collision. Our family opened Superior Collision in 2002, and we're still the ones who own and operate it today. Some places talk about community. We actually stand with our community, donating monthly back into Marquette County. When you need collision repair, choose Superior Collision, your local hometown body shop.
Tony's Green Thumb in Bark River is open for business. Tony's is your one-stop shop for all your garden and flower needs. Known for a huge variety of big, beautiful baskets, gorgeous planters, and over 600 varieties of vegetables and flowers to choose from. Open daily, come see why people travel over 100 miles to Tony's Green Thumb. Tony's Green Thumb, where beautiful gardens begin.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar. You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Even though the price of gas and airline tickets is jumping, experts expect record-breaking travel during Memorial Day weekend. AAA predicts 45 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home this year, up slightly from last year. And airlines will be watching the holiday weekend closely as a bellwether for the entire summer season. Chris Van Cleet reports.
Jennifer Faust is well into planning her family's summer travel. While international airfare is up on average 16%, or $152 a ticket, her family of 5 is keeping their plan to go to Italy.
I think if it wasn't for the fact that our kids are moving out in a few years to go to college, we might not have gone.
Memorial Day weekend marks the unofficial start of the summer travel season, and AAA expects it will edge out last year as the busiest ever. The 45 million expected to travel is up just 0.4% from last year. AAA's Aixa Diaz.
Despite high gas prices, most people still travel, and they don't let that deter them from going on their trip. They may budget accordingly, but they're still going to go on their getaway.
Most, 39.1 million, will drive, getting hit with gas prices topping $4.50 a gallon on average, up about $1.40 from a year ago.
Gas price is insane right now, and I usually fly, but it's expensive to fly as well because of gas price.
AAA says the average Memorial Day plane ticket was $800 round trip, down a bit from last year, but many of their bookings came before jet fuel started surging in March.
Last-minute travelers may have a hard time finding any good deals, so people who locked in better prices over Memorial Day weekend did so months ago.
The nation's airlines remain bullish about the summer, even as airfare continues to climb. Round-trip domestic flights are up about $70 over last year.
Memorial Day is a big weekend. It is the kickoff to the summer.
Southwest CEO Bob Jordan.
The summer and bookings revenues look really strong. This is about as strong a demand as I've seen in my 38 years here at Southwest Airlines.
So where are the top spots people are traveling to? Orlando, Seattle, and New York top the list domestically, Rome, Vancouver, and Paris internationally. The busiest time on the roads will be Thursday and Friday afternoon, and of course, Memorial Day Monday. Jim is overseas, but he still managed to make some time for us. Let's take a look at this week's Life in the 906.
You know what? If you're watching this, that means that I'm currently in Germany, mostly to buy chocolate, and with any luck, I'll be returning to the UP on Friday. Now, while traveling abroad is one of the most incredible things you can do, coming home has its benefits as well. And whenever I come back from a European vacation, I always sit in the exact same place, at a window seat on the right-hand side of the plane. Now, why do I always sit at a window seat on the right-hand side of the plane? Well, the path that most airlines use going from anywhere in Europe to Chicago takes them over Labrador and the St. Lawrence Sea and then past Quebec and Ontario. Most flights enter U.S. airspace right over the St. Mary's River, right between the two Sault Ste. Maries. And if you sit in a window seat on the right-hand side of the plane, the very first glimpse you catch of the United States is of the UP, from the Soo right below you to Whitefish Point off in the distance. This may sound strange, but I think Ubers are incredibly lucky in this regard. I mean, how many people actually get the chance to have the very first part of the U.S. they see on their way back from another country be their home? I've often fantasized about asking a flight attendant if they could just stop the plane and let me out when we're crossing the border, but my fear of being arrested when we land in Chicago is just a little too strong. However, sitting at that window and watching the UP unfurl before me reminds me that despite all the hassles of traveling and of crossing an ocean, I'll soon be back to that amazing, magical place in which we all live, Upper Michigan. With any luck, I'll be back live next week, and if you're good, I might even bring some chocolate. I'm Jim Koski, and that's another slice of Life in the 906.
And don't forget to join Jim weekday afternoons on Q107 WMQT. Star Wars actress Sigourney Weaver is getting a star of her own. Plus, a look at what it took to make the Moonwalk movie ready. Gwen Baumgartner has tonight's entertainment headlines.
It's being framed as one of the biggest art auctions of the year. Beginning today, pieces from the likes of Pablo Picasso, Mark Rothko, and Jackson Pollock are going under the hammer. This Pollock painting is one of the top lots, spanning 11 feet. Auction house Christie's expects the painting to sell for around $100 million. Michael Jackson's biopic Michael continues to hit a high note at the global box office after grossing more than $200 million in its opening weekend. Now, star Jafar Jackson offers this behind-the-scenes look at making the film.
The smoother it's going to look.
He says mastering the iconic dance moves marked the most difficult aspect of this role.
I started to rehearse for hours and hours upon hours until one single move was right, dancing until my feet would bleed or them go numb.
Michael is in theaters now. As the hype continues for upcoming Star Wars film The Mandalorian and Grogu, actress Sigourney Weaver is cementing her legacy, not just with her newest role, but literally in Hollywood, joining icons like Jodie Foster and Cyndi Lauper by putting her hands and feet in cement outside the TCL Chinese Theater. The Golden Globe-winning actress will be honored this Friday. Star Wars co-star Pedro Pascal will speak at the ceremony.
Now don't go anywhere. When we come back, Kelly Rowland will have your final look at weather. Stay tuned.
Andersen brand products are #1 in quality, and the Window Store is your local Andersen expert for installation and service of all Andersen windows and doors. From showroom to your home, Andersen Windows and Doors at the Window Store.
Automakers never stop thinking about your safety. When they discover a safety defect, they issue a safety recall and cover the cost of repairs. It doesn't matter how old your vehicle is or if you're not the original owner. All you need to do is bring it in. Do your part by checking for safety recalls at checktoprotect.org.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's The Shortlist, only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News.
Andersen is the #1 trusted window and door brand. The Window Store is the Upper Peninsula's clear choice for windows and doors. Now that's a perfect fit. From showroom to your home, Andersen Windows and Doors at the Window Store.
This is a powerful place. In this chamber, decisions are made every day. Decisions that impact your life, your friends, family, and neighbors. Your life can be changed by what happens here. I'm 19 News' Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy. I report to you, tracking votes, new laws, and policies that change lives in the Upper Peninsula. The only place to see what's happening in Lansing is right here.
Sophia Murphy reports, only on WZMQ 19 News. Sophia Murphy reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News.
And a final check of your forecast. It's going to be a colder night and a colder day in general with some rain on the way. But as for tonight, those temperatures out towards the eastern half are going to be around that freezing mark, especially for Newberry and Sault Ste. Marie, but places like here in Marquette and out towards Lawrence, Ironwood, Iron River, we're going to be in the upper 30s and lower 40s. We're not going to see too much sunshine, so with that limited sun and the system bringing through some showers scattered throughout the day, temperatures will remain into that mid to upper 40s range. The further out you get to the southern peninsula and out even into Wisconsin, those temperatures are more likely to get closer to the upper 50s and lower 60s. 60 degrees is what we should be for this time of the year for that high temperature. So thankfully we will be trending in a slightly warmer than average range once we pass this rainy day for tomorrow. We'll be back into the lower 50s where we climb the temperature ladder to the 60s for Friday, kicking off a fairly seasonal weekend, maybe a bit cooler for Sunday, and then a few isolated showers for Sunday headed into Monday.
Kelly, thank you again. And finally tonight, the story of two tiny survivors who made it out of a tornado last week in Mississippi.
So I have Tornado and I have Twister.
And they couldn't have more fitting names. Tornado and Twister have a new family after they were pulled from the rubble of a flattened trailer park. This video shows a storm chaser saving 4-week-old Tornado who needed surgery. Twister was found a day later and just needed some TLC.
It makes me feel joyous to know that I could be a part of helping out to get these little kittens to a new home and get them with such wonderful people.
Once the vet gave the green light, the kittens were matched with 10-year-old Mia Whittington and her 7-year-old sister, Airly. Her mom said they've been hoping to adopt for months, and after everything Tornado and Twister went through, it was a perfect fit. That's it for now, everyone. See you tomorrow.
The wait is over. England Furniture's quick shipping is back at Kirkish Furniture. Choose your style and fabric and receive your furniture in as little as 30 days. Browse our in-stock selection or let our staff help you customize the perfect sofa or chair. Plus, 1 year free financing and free delivery.
Did you know most of what you throw away can be recycled? At Recycle 906, we accept more than just cardboard and jugs. We take plastics, metals,